Hey guys, is this artist tracing or this artist just copying a style from another artist way too closely? Before we begin the video, we guys hit the like, subscribe. You guys like art topics, the art drama of the world. But we also upload at least 1 or 2 videos a week when we are doing, just some sketches, some ideas that we're working on for stickers or something like that. Like we just did Stranger Things art. Check it out right now in the shorts. But also, guys, we do post at least once a week of artwork that I finished, that I've fully completed on there. And we also got some new stuff coming out very soon for shorts and posts and also videos, guys. Like I just posted my first meme challenge ever as a video. So check that one out or put in the link in the description below. All right, let's begin the art topic. Why am I talking like a robot? All right, guys. So this could be a little bit tricky, guys, because I've been looking into this. And I'm like, I'm not really seeing too much of the tracing. Maybe I'm blind, guys. But I'll ask this question again. So I'll make it very clear. Is it bad when an artist copies another artist's style way too closely? When an artist tells you, hey, please, can you stop doing this? You're doing it too close to my style. And also accusing them, allegedly, of them tracing. So let's break it down one by one. So let's first start with the tweet. So here it is right here, guys. So we're starting with the tweet. It's from Sarah on Onesies. I didn't say you say it. And it says right here, as a big artist, I prefer to not to make these kind of public callouts and start drama. Please keep this in mind, right? However, after seeing how Friday's art constantly ignore and disrespecting me, I become tired. Since they ignored their account, they've been tracing my art nonstop. So here is some examples of what they mean. So I'm gonna go full screen like always, guys, so you guys can see the whole thing. Wait, let me go right here. Wait, why am I on the other side? Sorry, guys. So here it is right here. Here's some of the first images. So you can see Friday's comms open. So this is their artwork right here. And it looks like their artwork is on the left and on the right, like the rectangle one. Sorry. So here it is right here. So it looks like they are doing this kind of like a lot of similar artwork what they're doing. Obviously, they do some changes. Right now, I don't see any tracing anything. But what I do see is the art style, the lighting, the shading. That's what I do see. There are constantly like copying, I guess you could say. They're doing way too closely to Zara's, right? And I'm very curious. What do you guys think? It's like, is this like fair game, or is it like, hey, maybe you should try to figure out to make it your own in some ways, even though you're making some changes, but you're still doing so much of like the shading and the outline techniques, all that way too similar to the artist. Because you can tell by the pictures, they're not traced. It just looks very very similar within like the art style. But let's check out more examples. So here you are right here. Some more examples right here. So here is the hand, and here's their hand. Here's the eye patch. Here's hand. Here's hand. Honestly, here's the thing, guys. I am not really. I could see maybe how they could trace this one, kind of, but not really. Because again, this one I'm kind of confused because I've not seen the full like original artwork. I try to find it because this one looks like it's kind of mushed together. I'm not gonna say that word because I am no. I mean, it looks very weird why this will be very smashed together. That looks very weird. All right. I'm going to say that looks kind of like, I don't know, it just looks way too weird. Anyways, because in their art style, they also connect like their fingers too. So that's why I'm like, it just could be an art style, but this looks like it's vector. That's why I'm kind of very confused because the reason why I think it's vector, guys, because you see like this light right here shading, this darker there. It just looks way too weird. The hand right there. But as right now, I can tell that this is trace as right now. I mean, it's similar hand gesture, but it's not the same. But in this one right here, it's more. This one looks more the same. Now this one does look more the same for sure. The only thing that's different is the thumb. That's the one thing I feel like it is complete. Like they did change the thumb, but again, hand gesture is very hard to kind of claim that it's their own. My personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. But continuing right here, as you can see, the art styles are very very similar. So that is the thing. Like, even for me, like at first glance, I'm like, who's who? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who's who at first glance. And that's why I'm kind of like, oh, I see why this artist is really annoyed by this other person because they're doing the same art style as them, or even like very influencing their shading techniques to their own art piece. Again, guys, there's nothing wrong getting inspired by art pieces, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like there is something wrong when you're too close to someone's style, in my personal opinion. I feel like when you start as an artist, obviously you're gonna get influenced by a person that you're very admired as an artist and do their style very like closely. But once you like start learning how to do your art like throughout the years and stuff, you kind of start developing your own art style and adding your own you could say quirks to it, like just some random stuff to it, random shading to it. and obviously do something more different. And in this case, there are some things different, but they're very similar to each other still. That is sometimes at first glance, I'm like, who's who at this point? So I can see why this artist is very annoyed. But continuing, I believe this is the last post right here. As you can see, it's the same kind of themes of what the artist is doing. Not traced, but it's heavily inspired that it could be considered plagiarism. So again, I will say this: you don't own the characters, so or maybe this is their original characters because I don't recognize them. So I'll say that for sure. The pomegranate, very close though, like very closely for sure, obviously. Because come on, even I'm kind of like, okay, that is okay. So they have pomegranate there, and they have their pomegranate there. I'm thinking this is a character for some place, and again, it's just very similar to each other. I don't like those look like female characters. The other one looks like male characters. So again, very heavily inspired, yes, but it's not traced. So I give this one a pass in my personal opinion. I mean, the pomegranate is a little bit questionable, but the whole like different piece, yeah, very similar, especially with color and the daggers and everything. Again, I don't know these characters, who the characters are, so please don't bash me on that. But I'll give the pass on this artist in this one, guys. I'm sorry. I will get like this one is very like. I think the biggest thing is just they're copying too much of the style, very similar to the original artist. I think that's what's just going on, right? That's the biggest issue. And let me know, is that fair game, or should the artist be like, yeah, I'm copying way too close to the artist that I'm inspired from. Maybe I should start changing things up way more to do it my own way, you know? But continuing, let's go right about. And this one says, please, I'm not trying to send hate. I just want to raise awareness since they actually profit trace art and such as commissions. I talked to them back in the summer. They recognized they were at fault, apologized, even saying that they love my art style and admired me. Getting inspiration from another artist isn't wrong, even if they steal all of it. But tracing is a no. So there you go. So in her case, she's like, okay, if you're inspired by the style, it is what it is. But with tracing, I'm not cool with that for obvious reasons. I've seen some stuff that could be traced, guys, but not everything to me right now seems heavily traced. But just more examples, guys. So I just want to make that very clear. So here it is right here. Their conversation of them talking, like pretty much says, hello, I don't intend to cause any controversy or anything like that. But I just noticed that there are 3 of your illustrations referenced on my art, and some parts are even traced. Understand that you might be referenced for you, but copying and tracing is wrong. I will ask you to remove those illustrations or give me credit in some way, since they directly reference my own art. As an artist, you know that there are many hours and a lot of effort behind each drawing. I don't allow my art to be copied or traced, much less profited from so. I would appreciate it if you didn't do it again. So this person, obviously send this person in Spanish because they talk in Spanish. Hola, no pretendo ganar controversia. No, not like I don't want to be. It's pretty much the same thing what she wrote on the side. But continuing, so they wrote back in Spanish, but obviously I could read it in Spanish, but I'll read it in English for you guys. Hey, they will be deleted. I apologize. I didn't want to cause any problems on social media. I was looking for an art style, and I know what I did wasn't the best way to find it. It won't happen again. And again, I apologize. I admire your work. They have been deleted except for one that is entirely mine. What a shame. I apologize 1,000 times. And then the person in the bottom says, hola, gracias por contestar. It's like, hey, thank you for reaching back. I really appreciate it. And I'm pretty sure she's going to translate it on the next one. For replying, I saw that you also deleted from the other social media platforms. I appreciate that. I hope as one artist to another that this doesn't happen again in the future, not just me, but with other colleagues. Ultimately, what motivates us both is the fact that we feel for these 2 characters. As you know, there are many hours behind each drawing, how to convey the idea, the composition, the colors, etc. I don't mean to sound strict. I just want you to keep this in mind. Just next time tracing isn't acceptable. Thanks again. Really have a good day. I understand. And the other artist responded, I completely understand. It's not easy and it won't happen again. You can be sure on that. Have a good day too. So, like I said, they contacted around July, guys. That was months ago. That was like, what, 4 months ago while I'm making this video, unless I'm really done with numbers. And, well, looks like they broke their promise. But here are some of the examples of what they deleted months ago. So I'm gonna go full screen again, guys, for you guys. Actually, let me go with no webcam so you guys can see the whole thing. Oh my god, I just ruined the whole all piece. Wait. Here it is right here. And this one right here. Okay. Now this one right here, shut up phone. I could totally see the just tracing, right? Well, the way you could tell is the face of the shape, the ear, and kind of like almost the body type a little bit, but it's mostly like the head part. That what I see the most part, right? Out of everything, right? This one right here, you can see the hand gesture and also like the butterfly, the idea where it's pretty much the same kind of like composition, I guess you could say for the most part, but you can totally see like the hand for sure is yeah. It also the butterfly as well. There's a lot of things in this art piece that for sure it's inspired by the original artist, but I feel like it's way too close to the original art in my personal opinion. So I feel that is wrong. And I feel like, yeah, okay, all right, they got too inspired. They overdid it, and they're like, okay, yeah, that was way too close. When you continue to the next one, the hand gestures the same. It like it's just kind of weird how like there's some more blended, right? It's like I don't know, like what this one for sure. Okay, now this one, I'm like, oh yeah, you could totally tell it's the same kind of gestures and hands. It's like I think it's just way too close. And this one, and so I found the hands right here. But yeah, again, just a little bit more examples. They deleted some of them already, so these are in the past. So you see, obviously, this one right here, like, come on, like this one right here, it's for sure like same gestures. They just added some other stuff. I think what a lot of artists think, where like you could take a reference, like tracing something, but because you make like some changes to it, it's okay. That's not how that works, guys. Because if the main thing is copy, like if you put the images on top of each other and they're pretty much the same, which let me show you guys some examples. All right, guys, so let me know if I'm crazy or not. So I had to cut this because they weren't like they weren't exactly aligned with each other. For like one was like kind of bigger and stuff, but when I cut it and like really resize it, as you can see, it is very similar right here. You could tell like there obviously some changes, obviously, but you could tell like they kind of pretty much just copied the pose for the most part, right? And like the face a little bit more, and like some of the hair, I guess, ideas, but for the most part, it was changed to somewhat. So let me know, is this enough changes, or is this still considered trace? Because yeah, a part of me always says like, hey, nobody owns the pose, but obviously an artist does own his style, like specifically what they do. And I officially like that's like, come on, it's just like very similar. Same thing with the other character, guys. You can see everything aligns when it comes to the anatomy and the face and the hands and the legs and everything. As you can see, not everything aligns perfectly well. I would say that, but as you can see, like some of the hand is really similar. Very similar. This right here, guys, is not the hand. This is the armor. By the way, if anybody's curious, so you guys can see that. But yeah, so you can see like the hands are very similar, the face, the hair a little bit. Obviously, it's like inspiration. Like this part right here aligns, the hair part aligns and everything. So let me know what you guys think. But yeah, this one for sure is like, oh, okay, I see what they did. But continuing, right here it says, once again, it's okay to be inspired by the artist you love by copying every detail and texture, the line art, the coloring, and artistic direction is blatant and shows a lack of respect for me as an artist. I know this type of pose can be misinterpreted on social media. I've been trying thinking, proceeding, and acting as mature as possible, asking them privately to stop, but no, alas, I am just begging this person to stop copying me, profiting from my hard work. Misinterpret. But here's the thing, guys. It's gonna be very hard to go after this quote unquote other artists because they're overseas. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like the big part of what's going on right now, there's a lot of people in general that copy and trace, especially if you're from another country, because it's very hard to get to them. I see that a lot in Etsy. I see a lot of Instagram, TikTok. They keep making new accounts. It's very hard to stop it because the only way you could really stop it is like kind of deplatform them, and that's very hard, difficult thing to do. And thing is, like you have to continue calling them out every time to make a new account. I've seen this happen time and time again, and it just sucks. I feel for the artists for sure, and it's just I feel like they're just not gonna stop, in my personal opinion. So I searched up the name. Looks like they've been called out before in the past. Looks like it was on September 15, 2024. Okay, well, try to say things nicely, but guess some people are just not like that. This person is stealing, at least very heavily reference them on okay, it's different name. Art is without credit or permission. Please stop supporting someone who's just blatantly stealing art. Things Friday. You see the handle is Friday Art. It's the same kind of handle, but it's got changed. Like I said, these people would not stop, guys. They would just continue making new handles. So here it is right here. Here is one art pieces right here, and here is the other one. And as you can see, they are pretty much inspired by the same artist. I guess the original post was unavailable. This was about a year ago, so I can't fully tell everything right, because again, it was a year ago and the post is pretty much gone. So when you click on it, it's just gone. Like I said, they keep changing their names. They're just trying to move on in a very bad way, in my personal opinion. And yeah, so it looks like it's not the first time. It's not the first time them being called out. And again, these people are not going to stop. But I'm not showing their account to send hatred on them. They have privated their account, and it looks like they're probably going to change their name in the future, or they're probably going to do something else and go by completely different name, but still continue the same thing. Who knows at this point? Because that's usually what they do. A lot of support right now on the quotes right now, guys. It says, "Oh, I ran into Friday's art before and pointed out her behavior, only to discover she's still doing this crap. She has a way bigger following on other platforms, so it's disappointing to see that she is still actively profiting off of this." Yeah, like I said, it's only one platform, but like they have multiple platforms of the same content, guys. I mean, that's what a lot of artists does, right? Just reposting content on different platforms, so you know they're constantly doing new stuff and just continue growing. It's you know the craziest thing? It's always people that are kind of like tracing or allegedly tracing or like copying so much so another artist or the ones getting more popular than the original poster. Why does that keep happening? Let me know. Is it the algorithm? It's so weird how that always happens. So let me know what you guys think. Is this artist being paranoid or they actually are have a case in some ways? And what do you guys think your artists should do when this happens to them? But like I said, I think this is gonna be almost impossible to stop. You can stop on one platform, but you gotta call them out on every single platform. And hopefully that goes enough viral for them to delete their stuff or go private it, and then they're probably gonna like pause it for a little bit, but they would just come back with a different name. Like I said, I've seen this happen thousands of times already at this point. It just sucks that this happens, guys. It sucks that we have to deal with AI, but we also have to deal with people who just steal stuff from other people. It just sucks that we're just getting attacked from all over the place. Again, artists are not fully like innocent. I'm not saying that, but it just sucks that this is the part of the world we're at right now. And it just sucks so bad that this has happened to this artist. And hopefully we'll find a solution someday. I don't know. Or just kind of just keep doing you. But again, guys, don't send hate to the artist, to the other person, because it's not really gonna do much. All you can do is just report them, of actually reporting them and giving them, hey, this person's stealing other person's artwork, or you know, the whole thing. You could do that, and then hopefully that could stop them at least a little bit. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for me tonight, guys. If you guys would like to subscribe, let me know what you guys think. Let me know I'm crazy. Let me know I'm not crazy. Let me know what you guys like about my art. Please like my art. All right, bye. All right, peace out. Ooh.